On July 3rd, all eyes were once again on Shohei Ohtani as Dodger Stadium hosted a crucial showdown between the Los Angeles Dodgers and the San Diego Padres. In one of the biggest games of the series, Ohtani took on his unique dual role, leading off the batting order while also starting on the mound, ****. The night, however, did not begin the way Dodgers fans had hoped. From his very first pitches, Ohtani appeared slightly out of rhythm. His command wasn't as sharp as usual, and the Padres immediately took advantage. The first two hitters worked patient at-bats and both drew walks, instantly putting pressure on the Dodgers with runners on base and nobody out. After finally recording the first out, San Diego wasted no time cashing in. Gavin Sheets ripped a sharp RBI single into the outfield, bringing home the game's first run and giving the Padres an early 1-0 lead. For a moment, concern spread throughout Dodger Stadium. Ohtani is known for his pinpoint control, so seeing him struggle with his command so early was highly unusual. But this is exactly why he is considered one of baseball's elite. Rather than letting the inning unravel, Ohtani stayed composed. With runners still threatening, he settled into his rhythm and delivered when his team needed him most, striking out Ty France before overpowering Jackson Merrill to escape the inning without any further damage. From that point on, everything changed. The second inning looked like a completely different picture. Ohtani's fastball began consistently hitting the corners, while his devastating breaking pitches generated weak swings and empty misses. He retired the side in order, recording 2 more strikeouts in a dominant 3-up, 3-down frame. It was a version of Shohei Ohtani that baseball fans around the world had become accustomed to seeing. A pitcher capable of making adjustments almost instantly and completely taking control of a game. His greatest strength has never been avoiding adversity. It's his ability to respond to it. That trend continued into the third inning. Ohtani attacked the strike zone with confidence, refusing to give Padres hitters anything they could drive. San Diego struggled to make solid contact as he cruised through another scoreless frame, keeping the Dodgers within striking distance. By the fourth inning, Ohtani looked completely locked in. He retired the first 2 batters with ease, extending his streak to 10 consecutive outs after the rocky opening inning. Momentum had fully shifted toward Los Angeles, and it looked as though Ohtani had once again transformed an ugly start into another dominant outing. Then, in a matter of seconds, everything changed. With 2 outs, Jackson Merrill stepped into the batter's box for the 3rd time against Ohtani. This time, Merrill connected perfectly. He drove a towering solo home run deep into center field, extending the Padres' lead and silencing the Dodger Stadium crowd. But surprisingly, the home run itself wasn't what everyone was talking about afterward. What happened next became the real story. Instead of calmly beginning his trip around the bases like most players would, Merrill's reaction immediately drew attention. According to the account, he turned toward the mound and appeared to confront Ohtani before continuing, an action that many viewed as crossing the line between competitive emotion and unnecessary provocation. Within seconds, tension on the field began to rise, setting the stage for a confrontation that neither team saw coming. According to multiple reports from inside the stadium, Jackson Merrill appeared visibly fired up after his home run. Instead of simply celebrating with his teammates, he reportedly turned his attention toward Shohei Ohtani, shouting insults across the field. Witnesses claim Merrill repeatedly mocked the Dodgers superstar, calling him a loser and questioning whether he belonged on the mound. What began as heated trash talk quickly escalated into something much more serious. Rather than backing away, Merrill continued walking toward Ohtani. As the two closed the distance, the confrontation suddenly turned physical. Merrill allegedly shoved Ohtani in the upper body, causing the Dodgers ace to lose his balance and stumble backward as he instinctively tried to avoid further contact. The moment instantly changed the atmosphere inside Dodger Stadium. This was no longer a routine exchange of words or an emotional home run celebration. From the perspective of everyone watching, the situation had crossed into a direct physical confrontation between 2 opposing players. The Dodgers responded immediately. Dalton Rushing was the first player to sprint toward the mound in defense of his teammate. Within seconds, Freddie Freeman and Mookie Betts rushed in as well, while players from the Padres dugout poured onto the field to stand behind Merrill. In an instant, the mound became the center of complete chaos. Players from both clubs stood face to face, shouting at one another as emotions boiled over. Fingers were pointed, jerseys were grabbed, and several players had to be physically restrained before punches could be thrown. Recognizing how quickly the situation was escalating, the home plate umpire immediately stepped between both teams and ordered everyone involved to return to their dugouts. At the same time, coaches and staff members from both organizations rushed onto the field, desperately trying to separate players before the confrontation turned into a full-scale brawl. Despite their efforts, emotions remained extremely high, and restoring order took several tense minutes. Slow-motion replays made the incident appear even more alarming. The footage showed Ohtani taking direct contact around his shoulder and upper back during the shove. Although he managed to stay on his feet, he immediately bent forward for several moments, clearly checking how his body felt after collision. Given Ohtani's unique role as both one of baseball's best hitters and one of the Dodgers' starting pitchers, the team's medical staff wasted no time. Trainers quickly arrived to examine his shoulder, back, neck, and overall mobility, making sure the contact had not caused any injury that could affect either his swing or his pitching mechanics. Fortunately for Los Angeles, the initial evaluation showed no serious damage. Ohtani was able to remain in the game, but the emotional impact of the confrontation was obvious. Rather than retaliating, he stayed composed and returned to his position, a reaction that earned loud applause from the Dodger Stadium crowd and even more admiration from fans watching around the world. The umpiring crew also acted swiftly. After reviewing what had happened, Jackson Merrill was immediately ejected from the game for leaving the base path to confront an opponent and for initiating physical contact. The decision sent a clear message that competitive intensity has limits and that violence has no place on a baseball field. However, the ejection may only be the beginning. Major League Baseball is expected to conduct its own review, examining every available camera angle along with the umpire's report and statements from both teams. If league officials determine that Merrill intentionally initiated the confrontation, additional discipline, including a significant fine or a multi-game suspension, could still follow. As attention shifted back to the game itself, Ohtani faced another difficult challenge in the fifth inning. The Padres once again put pressure on the Dodgers' ace, placing 2 runners on base and forcing him to work through one of his toughest innings of the night. Although he escaped without allowing another run, his pitch count climbed rapidly, raising concerns about how much longer he could remain on the mound. By that stage, San Diego's offensive strategy had clearly changed. Instead of attacking early in the count, Padres hitters became far more patient. They extended nearly every at-bat, fouling off pitches, refusing to chase outside the strike zone, and forcing Ohtani to throw more pitches than he had earlier in the game. It was a calculated approach designed to wear down one of baseball's most dangerous two-way stars and push him toward his limit. That patient approach began to wear Ohtani down. Pitch after pitch, the Padres forced him to work deeper into every at-bat, gradually draining his stamina and disrupting the rhythm he had built after the shaky first inning. And then came his biggest challenge of the night, the 6th inning. Ohtani quickly retired the first 2 hitters, appearing just 1 out away from another clean frame. But San Diego refused to go quietly. Jackson Merrill kept the inning alive with another base hit, and moments later, Xander Bogaerts ripped a sharp double into right field. Merrill raced home to score, extending the Padres' lead to 3-0 and putting even more pressure on the Dodgers' ace. The inning wasn't over yet. Rodolfo Duran stepped into the batter's box and forced Ohtani into one of the toughest battles of the night. The at-bat stretched to 8 pitches, becoming a true chess match between pitcher and hitter. With his pitch count climbing and fatigue beginning to show, every throw demanded complete focus and precision. But this is where Ohtani's experience took over. Rather than relying on pure velocity, he mixed his fastball with off-speed pitches, constantly changing eye levels and speeds until Duran finally lifted a harmless fly ball toward first base. The catch ended the inning and brought Ohtani's impressive outing to a close. Despite the early struggles and constant pressure, the Japanese superstar delivered another quality start. He completed 6 innings, struck out 9 batters, and allowed just 3 earned runs, while once again giving his team a chance to win. After the performance, Ohtani's season statistics remain among the best in Major League Baseball. 14 starts, 85.2 innings pitched, an 8-2 record, a sparkling 1.79 ERA, and 95 strikeouts. Although his ERA had risen slightly from the remarkable numbers he posted earlier in the season, remaining below the 2.00 mark further highlighted just how dominant and consistent he has been throughout the year. When Ohtani walked off the mound, however, he appeared destined to be the losing pitcher. The Dodgers trailed 3-0. Their offense had been silent for most of the game, and time was beginning to run out. Then everything changed. In the bottom of the 7th inning, Los Angeles loaded the bases, creating its biggest opportunity of the night. With the crowd on its feet, Teoscar Hernandez stepped into the batter's box and delivered the moment every Dodgers fan had been waiting for. He crushed a towering grand slam deep into the seats, instantly flipping the game on its head. In one swing, the Dodgers erased the deficit and stormed in front, sending Dodger Stadium into absolute celebration. From that point forward, the bullpen protected the lead, and Los Angeles completed an unforgettable comeback victory, defeating the Padres and securing its 2nd consecutive win in the 4-game home series. There was one more moment that caught everyone's attention. In the bottom of the 7th, Ohtani was scheduled to bat again, but manager Dave Roberts instead sent Miguel Rojas to hit in his place. The unexpected substitution immediately raised concerns throughout the stadium. After the game, Ohtani explained why. He revealed that he had begun feeling slight discomfort in his biceps during his final plate appearance. As a precaution, the Dodgers decided not to take any unnecessary risks and remove him from the game. Ohtani also admitted that he had experienced similar soreness during workouts about 1 or 2 months earlier, although that issue had disappeared relatively quickly. This time, he remains optimistic that the discomfort is only minor and will not require an extended absence. Even so, the Dodgers medical staff will undoubtedly monitor the situation very closely. Shohei Ohtani is not simply one of the league's most dangerous hitters. He is also one of the anchors of the Dodgers' starting rotation. Any concern involving his throwing arm could have a major impact on the club's plans for the remainder of the season. For now, Dodgers fans can celebrate another dramatic comeback victory, while hoping the biggest star in baseball returns to full health before his next appearance. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and share it with the biggest MLB fan you know.